What's going on, YouTube world? We adjusted my camera a little bit, but what's going on, YouTube world? Welcome back to a Little Bit Man Gaming, bringing you another BlackLighting review for the episode, the Book of Reconstruction. Almost messed it up. Reconstruction, Chapter 2. I think it's called Unacceptable Losses. I'm not 100% sure on that. I will have to. By the time this video goes up and stuff, I had the correct title and stuff in there, but I think it's called Chapter 2, Unacceptable Losses. First things first, you can hit that like, subscribe, and share the notification button. I paused right there because I was about to read your synopsis, but I want to get this out the way first. Yeah, hit that like, subscribe, and share the notification button. I greatly appreciate it. Also, leave a comment down below if you want to see more videos like these. Videos like these, let me know in the comments. Comment down below. Yeah, do all those great things because it helps the channel grow, helps me grow. We got to go 100 subscribers. We got to go to get this out there to the YouTube masses. You know, get my face, get this face out there to the YouTube masses. Man. With that being said, appreciate y'all. Let's get into it. The synopsis for this episode says the war between the 100 and the Cobra cartel rages on. Lynn continues to be concerned. Got tongue tied. Says Lynn continues to be concerned about Jefferson, Jennifer's curiosity in a new boy. Jennifer's curious about a new boy in school. Now, that last part, I'm going to start off with that last part. That last part, I watched the episode. Maybe I missed it. Like I said, let me know in the comments down below if I did miss this part. But technically, they never showed Jennifer going to school or this boy. But apparently, it's supposed to be about a boy and his curiosity. Her curiosity in the boy in the school. But they never really showed that. Like I said, unless I missed it somewhere, I might have turned my head for a split second. But yeah, the episode starts off with Jeff basically played by the memories of the last moments with Henderson, his childhood best friend that was like a brother to him. You know, he's laying in bed. He's played by the he can't sleep. He's played by his guilt that his friend is dead. He's still dealing with the struggle of it. And I think I said this in the last one too. I understand where they're trying to go. They're trying to say that, you know, his battle with being, he always had this battle with being BlackLighting. We know that. But this time losing his best friend that was like his brother pushed him to where he didn't want. Oh, okay, I see it right here. Yes, it's unacceptable losses. So, yeah, so it's like he's dealing with the fact that this time it was a loss that was too much for him. That this loss, losing Henderson, was like almost losing his father all over again. So it's like now losing him is pushing him back into not wanting to be BlackLighting, but he wants to be Jefferson Pierce, and that. I guess the whole internal struggle is that he thinks he could make a difference more as Jefferson Pierce than he could as BlackLighting, because he sees BlackLighting right now as someone who basically get the people killed that he cares about. So yeah, the episode starts off with him still haunted by Henderson's last words and their last words to each other, and he can't sleep. And you could tell, I praise the actor because he, without saying a word, his facial expresses everything, so that he was terribly in pain, and he still was dealing with the loss of Henderson, and it is just eating him alive. So then Jefferson goes outside to get some fresh air to maybe try to get some semblance of peace and try to get back to sleep. But the pain and he looks up into the sky thinking about his friend. The pain is too much and enrages him to the point where it's been done multiple times before, but it's like it was cool to see that somebody with electrical powers. He was enraged and his eyes start glowing. Next you know, he lets out his rage and frustrations and a yell while also letting out his lightning through all his hands shooting up into the sky. And he shot so much into the sky that it actually caused a lightning storm. He was so enraged. He was like, ah, and he just let go of this big amount electricity out of his hands that caused a lightning storm. Which, in itself, though the scene was cool. Don't get me wrong, the scene was cool. It just brings me to like a one little curiosity. Let me put the next scene. The next scene goes into my curiosity. So after he does that, we all know that if you haven't seen the show, let me put this in perspective before I get into it. If you haven't seen the show, Jeff cannot use his powers without being in the suit. Unlike Jennifer, who could use her powers outside and inside the suit without problems. Jeff is like, that's why Jennifer is like I want to say better version of him, because she's the version that could use her powers without consequence in or out the suit. Jeff could only use his powers within the suit because the suit regulates his powers. Therefore, it doesn't attack his own nervous system, and it causes him pain and cause him to pass out or whatnot. But if he uses powers without the suit, his own powers won't be regulated. So it attacks his whole body, his nervous systems, everything. It messes with him, and he it's like basically dangerous to use his powers without the suit. It's almost like it could backfire and almost kill him if he doesn't use the suit. And he's been struggling this season to want to be BlackLighting because he feels like Henderson is dead because of BlackLighting, so he thinks BlackLighting should also be dead. But yeah, after he let out this big yell and big power of frustration and anger, he passes out. And so that the next month, then it goes to the next morning. Lynn, I was about to say Jen. Lynn comes downstairs to look for Jeff, and look like she's getting ready to make breakfast. And she finds Jeff passed out, like how he was in the previous night. After he got out of bed, she still found him in that same area, passed out. And the thing was that the reason why. Now, this is the reason why I say my little nitpick curiosity comes into play here, is that when Jeff got out of bed to go get some air and eventually let out this big frustration power yell, Lynn woke up. She knew he got out of bed. So my thing is, you didn't hear your husband yelling and letting out this strong, powerful electrical blast that caused an electrical storm. Yet the next scene, that's why it says a little critique, because the next scene she comes down to look for him and finds him passed out, and she has no idea what's happened. Yet everybody should have just heard the fact that this man just yelled loud as hell and let out a damn electrical surge in the air to cause an electrical storm and pass out. Yeah, not Jennifer, not Anissa, not Lynn. Nobody knows what happened. Just Lynn's the only one who comes out and finds him passed out. He doesn't even realize that it's morning and that he's almost late for work to go to school. So she's asking him, "Are you okay? You okay?" And he's like, "What happened?" And he's just he brushes out. He's like, "Nothing. I'm fine. I'm going to go take a shower." Blah blah blah. And only Gamby, later on we find out Gamby knew what happened was that it was because of the fact that he did that without his suit. It overloaded his senses or his body to cause him to pass out because he's using his powers without the suit. And Gamby is trying to tell him, if you don't want to be BlackLighting, you can't have it both ways. You can't be BlackLighting and use the powers, because if you want to use the powers, you got to put the suit on, because the suit is the only thing that protects you. It's not just for you to go out there and fight crime. It helps you use your powers without it killing you. basically. And but he's like reluctant. He just want to use his powers and be Jefferson Pierce, but he doesn't realize that's putting him in more jeopardy. Let's see what else happened throughout the episode. You see Anissa struggle with her girlfriend. I had her name. Give me a moment. Trying to search through my notes here. I'm trying to figure out what is her name. Okay. Grace. Grace. That's her name. Yeah, so it's called unacceptable losses. I keep going back and I just realized that it's called unacceptable losses. But yes. So Anissa is still dealing with Grace being in a coma. Grace, I think after what happened last season, then having Grace turn on her and they had to fight Grace to get her to stop. I guess it put her in a coma situation. And those who don't know, Grace she's a metahuman who has the ability to shapeshift. I think she could shapeshift into not only people, but she could shapeshift into animals and stuff, almost like the Wonder Twin, almost like the Wonder Twin. She could shapeshift into not only people but animals too. And Grace has been in a coma ever since then. And we all, like I said in the last video, we know that, season 4 takes place a year after the events of the season 3 finale. So, Anissa's been dealing with that, and this episode it showed that she's growing, not impatient, but she's losing faith, and she's realizing, she meets a guy, and we all know Anissa's gay. But she meets a guy, who flirts with her. He tries to hit on her, and she tells him that I'm gay. But the important thing about his introduction was that it reminded Anissa that she used to have a life. She used to, not only be a crime fighter, but she used to go out and have fun too. And she realized that being at the hospital 24/7, not just, doing her job, but also helping Grace, and keeping an eye on Grace, she's not really living. And this was shown where she, after she got done talking to him, and, the guy offered her to go get drinks, a platonic drink. Like he tried to put it like he understands that she's a lesbian, so he still want to go get drinks just to blow off steam and have, to talk to somebody because he's new in town. But she says, at first she blows it up, tells her she got stuff to do. And then she goes and check on Grace. Grace, though is not woken, she's morphed into a cheetah. So it's like even though she's in a coma, it's like her body is still morphing and can still morph and still be active. She just can't wake up as her human self, but I guess she could morph into other things. So Anissa didn't really want to deal with it, so she goes and has a drink. She turns back around, catches the dude before he leaves and tells, yeah, you know what, I'll take you up on that drink. And this leads it to a known shootout. So the big thing about this episode was the reason why it's called unacceptable losses is at this point, Anissa's having drinks. Lynn is getting on Jennifer about not filling out her, applications to go to college and doing her SATs, and then they find out there's a big shootout. This shootout leads to Jennifer going to stop the shootout, Lynn taking a shot to give herself powers to give Jennifer backup, and we found out that she says that the reason why she's doing it is because Jeff won't go out there as BlackLighting to watch over the girls, so she's doing it herself. And this brings tension to between Jefferson and Lynn, because Lynn's accusing him. She's saying that I'm only doing this because you won't go out there and protect our girls or have their backs. They, they argue and say, oh, this. He's like, this is my fault now because she said, no, this is me. This is not about whose fault it is. It's about the fact that I want to do something and you keep making it seem like it's a bad thing. I'm not going to let you do that no more. So this brings attention to them, but then this shootout happens, and Anissa and this guy from work is around the corner having drinks, just talked about the things they went through in life, and they hear about the shootout. So as doctors, they go try to say, Anissa just wanted to go as Thunder, but because the guy insisted on going, because the guy don't know she Thunder, obviously. He insisted on going. They go as doctors instead of her going and change it to Thunder. And Lightning, Jennifer gets there, and as Lightning, she breaks it up. They scared of her, so she didn't even have to fight them. She just get there and powers up and tells them that they don't want to get beat up or whatever, to drop their guns and leave. And both sides drops their guns after the whole shootout. They drop their guns and just leave. But then there's one guy who's still there, getting ready to try to shoot Lightning. While with her back turned, she don't even know this guy is here. And Lynn gets there with her powers. She got this power. This time she got the power of wind, and she tries to stop the guy, but the guy gets back up and almost shoots Lynn. But Lynn gets out the way, but she smacks her head. Jennifer sees the guy. She doesn't see. She missed Lynn. But she doesn't see Lynn, but she sees the guy and she electrocutes him. He slides into the wall, but I think she shattered some glass, and she shattered she accidentally shattered glass when she electrocuted the guy into the wall, and a piece of the glass hit her in the arm. She takes the glass out, fires it into the atmosphere, and we now we get a better understanding why she's in the atmosphere. When she sucks that energy up in the atmosphere, it could give her. And not only recharges her, but also could heal her wounds, like they was never there. Jennifer and this end up finding out what Lynn did. They confront her about it, telling her that she doesn't need to be out there because she doesn't have training. Lynn gets mad because she feels like they say she's basically useless and a liability. It's a whole heap of mess. They end up Jefferson wanted to find that it was a kid that got killed in the shootout. This is what leads to the title of the episode. There was a kid who got killed in the shootout, and Jeff is not having it. So he wants to go find his kid. He wants to go find his thug and put him to justice, but he doesn't want to put on the suit. This leads to an argument with Gamby. It's just so much stuff that happens in this episode. But overall, it makes me understand more why he doesn't want to be BlackLighting this season, but it still brings me to the fact that at this portion of the video, I still gotta understand. Are we really about to spend so much episodes on him going back and forth and want to be BlackLighting again after 3 seasons? After 4 seasons, especially what happened with Crisis, do we still gotta actually go through multiple episodes with him being undecisive about wanting to be BlackLighting? He should at this point understand the magnitude of heroes on the earth. You just had a guy, a cosmic being from a negative version of the universe, who successfully erased the multiverse, and replaced it with the negative multiverse, only to have the 7 remaining heroes defeat him, along with a revived Oliver Queen, to bring back the universe, and yet you're still trying to struggle with this. But that's just me. But it's like, that's how I look at it. Like, after all that, you really about to sit here and still struggle with this. But my final thoughts on the episode was that the episode was good. It still pushed the story forward, though where I prefer them to get through that whole should I be BlackLighting and shouldn't be thing. Yes, I'd rather them get through that really quickly, especially since this is going to be the final season. I think because that's one of the other things I got about it is since this is the final season of BlackLighting, why should we spend so much time on this back and forth where if this is the final season, it should be about other things than just wanting to be Black Lightning. But I get the story aspect of it. That's just my nitpick. I'm also curious to why, even though in the synopsis for this episode there was supposed to be a whole section about Jennifer and the boy at school, yet we never seen it in the episode. Like I said, maybe I missed it, but I never seen any interaction with Jennifer at school other than laying pressure and putting pressure on Jennifer about not wanting to do her SATs and go to college, and then she's saying with everything they just been through, why should she go to college? It's like she want to be more, she want to choose a life more of being a hero than go to college and do all the normal things. With that being said, with my little minor slow pace they burning with this whole Jeff should be Black Lightning thing, I give this episode a 6.5 big ups just because it was a decent episode. It was a decent episode. I enjoyed it for what it was, but it just the lack of the fact that there was supposed to be scenes about this Jennifer and this boy at school that didn't make it into it, and the fact that we still slow burn this whole shouldn't I be Black Lightning thing kind of really hampered my mood for the show. Like, I was at the beginning, I was all into it, but by the time we got to the end, I was just like, eh. It was a good episode. It was just something about it. But yeah, that's what it is. If you like videos like these, you want to see more videos like these, let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, to the next video. Peace.